Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by A.G. Hines Company. If you've got a do-it-yourself project on the docket, start the process at A.G. Hines Company. They're right downtown, not far from the World's Fair Park. In fact, these folks can answer your questions, then put the right tools in your hands, get you the right building materials, put that in your truck. You're good to go. A.G. Hines Company, trust me, they've been doing it for more than a century. Well, heck with that. You don't have to trust me. 100 years of Knoxvillians have trusted them. People all over East Tennessee have been coming into Knoxville to get stuff from A.G. Hines Company. You should too. aghines.com to learn more. All right, so early in the week, Vol pitcher Chase Burns took his 100-mile-an-hour fastball and entered the transfer portal. I went to a message board, and those things are behind paywall, so I didn't screenshot it to put it up here. I'm not going to steal somebody's content and put it there, but I went to one message board. I'm sure you could have gone to any of the message boards in town and seen the same thing. The responses after Chase Burns said he was leaving were, these kids today are just quitters. If they don't get their way, they leave. It's pathetic. How is this not tampering? These schools are tampering with our players. A couple days later, Tennessee goes and gets the top player from NC State. Happens to be a freshman. They also get a flamethrower from Wichita State. They get a couple of other guys. I went back to the message boards. Great recruiting, Tony Vitello. Man, this NIL makes a difference. This is fabulous. I wasn't surprised, but at the same time, I did wonder, are things getting crazier due to the transfer portal? Will, is this just the standard fan double standard that it's not just Tennessee fans, everybody does it. It's good. If my school does it, good. Your school does it, bad. Is this just a standard double standard, or is the transfer portal leading to a new level of crazy?
I think it's the same crazy, but things have changed just a little bit. So, the transfer portal is just a new version of the thing that we go crazy about as fans, right? That people go nuts about. Think about it. Johnny Five-Star signs with Alabama. They're paying him. Think about, you know what I mean? They're those boosters in the back.
You talked to somebody recently who was like,
Johnny Five-Star comes here. We got one that wants to play the game. He loves it. It's for the love of the game that he came to the Vols. Yeah. That's just, we're all that way about our fandom. This is just a new thing to be that way about.
I was just going to say, as a longtime NFL fan, this is what the NFL became back in the 90s. You cheer for a team, you've got players you like, and then after 4 years, they go and they sign with somebody else. I think
due to free agency coming in?
Yes. Yeah. So I think now a lot of college fans who aren't pro sports fans, this is sort of new to them. Mm-hmm. But it's been the way the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball has lived for years. So if you're just a Tennessee fan and you're not a fan of anything else, this is brand new. Now, I don't particularly like it. I like the fact that, you came here, but I also argued we ought to do more for the kids. Well, now they're getting money, and they've got the ability to be able to go places where they may be happier. So I can't be two-faced about it, but I'm two-faced about
it. Josh, is it leading to more crazy, or is it just a new way to express crazy?
Yeah, it's reapplied crazy, which is honestly kind of great for the sport, because like a few years ago we weren't talking about off-season baseball moves. Now it matters more. Last segment we were talking about $100 million being pumped into a baseball stadium, but that separation, as Bob was talking about, from pro sports to college sports is closing in, because you're just going to have constant free agency. That's just what it is, because you have the option. Just like coaches have had the option to come and go to one school to the next in an off-season, players are now going to have that opportunity. Yes, tampering is taking place, but it's going both ways. Yes, players are being paid, but it's from all areas. And Tennessee actually has more advantages. So every once in a while, there will be a Chase Burns where you lose a key contributor. Far more often, there will be players coming into the program to help you.
Well, my first thought when I was reading people saying they're tampering was, didn't Tony Vitello have to sit some games to start this year? What was that about? But that was fine. That was the NCAA being meanies. You can't tamper with us. We can tamper with you.
Yeah. I just think that it is a little bit different with Chase Burns, though, right? Because Chase Burns is leaving because he was unhappy with the role he had.
He is a quitter.
Yeah, as opposed to he wants to be a starter.
Yeah, and they made him
about the rotation,
and it worked. So you can't blame Tony Vitello.
Not at all. And I also think it's in the best interest of Chase Burns for him to be a reliever. I just don't know that he's a starter. So you're doing the thing that's in the best interest of the kid and the best interest of your team, and the kid doesn't like it, so he decides to go somewhere else. But Tennessee is in a position in this NIL era that so many people don't like, right? Yeah. Because of Spire, because of the fan base, because of all the things that Tennessee has, Tennessee's actually going to be in an advantageous position because of this, because they can go get players when tampering happens.
Yep.
Tennessee's going to be better at it than the other schools are.
All right, we'll hold on to that. We'll hold on to that, come back to that in the recruiting segment, the effectiveness of the cash dollar. When we come back, one publication predicts that Tennessee is going to finish in the top 15, but they don't have Joe Milton in any of their first 4 All-SEC units. Not first team, second team, third team, fourth team. Who does 4 teams? Can Tennessee really finish as a top 15 team if Joe Milton, their quarterback, doesn't have an All-SEC season? We'll discuss that next. Come on back on the Sports Source.